Hey guys, welcome back to forexprofirm.com YouTube channel. In today's interview, we have Long Vang with us who just got a funded account from forexprofirm.com, and in this interview, we're going to hear his story how he became a profitable trader, how he completed our two-step evaluation here at forexprofirm.com and became our funded trader. But before we do that, if you do not know who we are, forexprofirm.com is the proprietary trading firm. We offer you real funding up to $10 million. You can take the initial account size starting from $25,000 all the way up to $200,000. You're allowed to trade forex, stocks, indices, commodities, and futures. You can hold trade during the news events. You can hold trade during the weekend as well. And if you are interested, we have added the links in description. Make sure to check out our new website that we recently launched. We now have three different funding models: one-step evaluation model, two-step evaluation model, and instant funding model. So let's get into this interview and let's start. And can you please tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, how did you start trading, and how old are you, where are you from?
I was born go way back. I was born in Laos for about a year. Came here in 1991. Graduated in Milwaukee School of Engineering 2015 as an electrical engineer. So at the time I was, trying to explore more opportunity and how to make some passive incomes. I got into marketing affiliates, with some but I came to myself, well, is this what I really want, in my future? Definitely not it. So I seek out trading. At first, it was really tough. Um, I started trading in 2016. I was joining with some other markets that actually sponsor some tradings. I won't name them, but they actually didn't really teach you anything. They just kind of provide you signals, but then you're like, well, how does that trade really works, right? So I spent about a couple of years with them, and then doing live on my live account on my own. And I lost $4,000. That's when I came to the conclusion where, all right, you know what, trading is really tough,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna give up. I actually start, trading with a group of, five people. Me, my cousins, three of my uncles. But after we lost, a numerous amount of money, four of them backed out except me. So I was still try to discover trading by myself. I'm like, there's got to be a way to beat the system. No, there's no way how people out there are making such a good, consistent profits, right? So I figured myself, you know what, I think it's going to be a lot of work. So I started and continue on. More about me, I'm 32. I just recently got married, 5 years now. I have a son, 4 months old, a daughter, 4 years old. So yeah.
Oh yeah, that's great, man. You are married for 5 years now, and you have a son, and you are trading as well. So it's really great to know that, and I'm very happy to know that you guys were five people, group of five people who started, and you are the
Yes.
only one who did not give up, and now you can see the results as well. You can, if
Yep.
you look back at that time, there were definitely moments when you were thinking that you should give up, but you decided
Yeah.
not to. That's very good.
Hmm.
Can you please share your screen and tell us a little bit about your trading strategy? What kind of a strategy
Sure.
you use?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna give an example. Plug it in like moving average and here and there, but I will just give me a second. So I'm just plugging in an example, just two 20 MA and 50 MA EMA. So just a little bit example of how I trade. So I look at hourly time frame. Um, I use mean reversion, more like a quantitative trading strategy, and a pullback MA strategy. So, for example, right here, you see a pullback to the 50 EMA, right? And then you look for a bullish engulfing, because a lot of time, what an engulfing candle actually tells you the market sentiments. How there's a lot of buyers and a lot of sellers. So that kind of dictates your movement of orders of where you want to place your trade. So a lot of time I would look, for example, a pullback to get a kind of discount, right? That's what we call. You don't want to jump into a trend when it's already far off away from the MA, because you won't be keeping your risk ratio. So I try to target 1 to 2 to 1, where stop loss will be, before the low, before the high. and then two times that would be like, for example, here you probably get a profit around here somewhere. So that's just kind of like an example of how my trading strategy is. Um, you know, and one key thing that I actually use is not just the strategy itself, is actually the money management, right?
Hmm.
So let's say you have a buy here, okay, you know, and then you profit about a 1%. You're risking a 1%, okay, and then you got another signal. You do what I do is you probably heard this a lot, and you probably heard this term a lot. It's asymmetric compounding.
Yes,
So
exactly.
you would add another percentage or plus percentage that you gain. So what you normally risk, right? So it would be, for example, you risk 1% to make 2%. Now you're risking 3% to make 6%. So if two trade goes well, you already make 9% or
Yes.
8%, right? So that's the key of my strategy. You don't get too often, not a lot of signals, obviously, but you want, because I only trade during the New York session and the London session. I found that during those sessions, there tends to be more volumes. So which move the, more of a trending, right? You don't want to be in the ranging, especially in this kind of strategy. So I only trade gold. I try to implement this in other pair, maybe GU, where I tend to find that it kind of work here and there. But for countless, I've been researching this strategy over and over, and I was able to create my own. Since I do programming as a side of it as my main job, so I was able to program that, play around with it. So a lot of time I'll be working and now I have a trigger, a trade triggers, and then I'm like, oh, okay, got 1%. Okay, next, hopefully next, next trade meet the target or something, right? So that's kind of ideally how my trading goes. Obviously, I don't use trailing stop. I
Hmm.
figure, maybe other strategy trading stop does work, but for me personally, just my strategy alone, it doesn't really work as much as I thought it would be. But rather than risking, 2 to 1 or 3 to 1, that tends to work out more on my own strategy. So that just kind of give you an example, some good trades. Obviously, I want to trade with the trend, not against the trend. So that's yeah. So
All right, good, good. So, what kind of a trader you are? A day trader, swing trader, or you like to scalp?
I don't like to scalp. I really like a day trader and a swing trader, but more like a day trader. Since I trade smaller time frame like H1, not too small, but obviously small enough for fit in the day trading. But yeah, no, that's
All right,
uh,
got you, got you. And tell us a little bit about your trading history, about everything, all the difficulties you faced when you started. How did you learn to become a profitable trader? What was it like? Tell us a little bit about that.
oh man, yeah. This okay. So if I start way back, so when I got into trading, I was getting signals from other people. No
Yeah.
idea how they give you signals, right? So I was like, well, there's got to be some technical analysis here, some fundamental that applies it. So I got into price action. I researched it, I looked into price action. I'm like, well, I tried it a bit, it didn't seem to work well on my end. Maybe just that doesn't fit my schedule. But I know that I noticed that there are a lot of successful people that trade price action, but maybe for me it wasn't that case. So okay, then I got into scalping. Looking at Bollinger Band, over the band. Okay, I sell, over so overbought, right? And I'm like, it can't be this easy. So I give it a try, and I actually lost quite a few, like about a grand or two. And so I was like, man, you know, sometimes when you lost that much amount, you kind of just back off a little bit, right? Look, research a little bit.
Yeah.
So okay, I got into martingale. So
All right.
martingale was, I thought it was, people started, you're like, you have some success, right? You kind of like, okay, 1 lot, 2 lot, 4 lot, 8 lot. Okay? It works well, for about a month, right? But there's no stop loss. So how do
Yes.
you know the account's gonna go, when it's gonna blow you out? So I actually uh, made about 3 or 4K. I'm like, I think I'm good. I think I'm good, right? Until one trade on GU whooped me out like in 1 hour, and I was just like at work. I was looking at my phone, I'm like, oh man, I'm making pretty good money. And then when 2K, I'm like, don't worry, it'll bounce back. And the 3K, I'm like, it's not gonna bounce back anymore, right? Once you go down and meet your margin. So I close out with $200
All
on my
right.
account. Yeah, I'm
Uh,
just like,
yeah, yeah.
$200.
That's the problem with martingale. You end up losing a lot of your profits that you have made on your account. You end up losing your account. You just blow that account. That's the problem
Right.
with that. So
Yeah.
you started in 2017. Is that right?
Yep.
Back in 2017. It's the same time when I started learning as well, and it took me around 2 years from 2017 2018 to understand, to find my aha moment in the market. And after the 2 years, obviously, when I started to see some results, I was lucky enough to find FTMO. At that time, there were only one to two firms, and FTMO was started to gain a lot of attention back in 2019, early 2019. And when I find out that there is a chance to get a funding if we can prove to them that we know how to trade, we know how to manage risk. So that is, not only I was having my first aha moments that I know how to trade, I have found my holy grail of trading, but I also ended up doing the challenge. My first challenge, I failed that, but after that, when I understood how to complete these challenges, it was very easy for me to pass the evaluation. And since then, I have been literally funded with so many firms, like 7 8 firms right now. And
Wow.
it's been a great journey. So tell me about your challenges that you faced, and how long it took you to become profitable.
Yeah. So after the martingale, I kind of give up with price action, right? I fall under indicators. And sometimes it's really, for me is, based on my schedule, it's really hard to determine how the market structure really goes. You gotta spend quite a few time, moment on the screen here and there. Um, so what I became, what really made me profitable was not just the strategy itself. It's more of a being patient and being psychology. Wait for the, wait for the trend to, the candle to meet your condition, not chasing the candle, not chasing the setup. Just let the setup falls on you.
Yeah.
So the and then you apply a really good money management, and then that will definitely kind of make your strategy really works. Because a lot of strategy nowadays, I figure, when you optimize based on when you backtest, you don't optimize the whole parameters to make the strategy really, really tweak. You only need to, optimize, let's just say a trading stop, right? Or, a take profit level or things like that. And then it will make your strategy kind of like tweak itself or be robust, what I should say. So after countless researching, looking at quantitative, looking at all the algorithms, price actions, and things like that, I kind of came to okay, all right, I think the key of the strategy to make it really work is the money management and to be patient enough. So give a couple months demo testing and actually trial a lot of FTMO trial, their free trial,
Yeah.
and I was able to pass 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5. I'm like, okay, I think let's put it to work, and just don't look at the screen. Be back off. Just wait. Okay. Sometimes you're gonna have losing streak, but a lot of time when you have good streak, it's gonna bounce back, and it may bounce back even higher. So
Yes.
understanding your maximum drawdown, understanding just trading, that will kind of give you a good idea, understanding how well it will perform. So
Yeah. And how many challenges you lost before you become a funded trader?
I lost about 10 challenge.
All
Yeah. So
right.
yeah.
in,
So 10
and
challenge
and you lost 10 challenges in what period?
in just 1 year.
All right.
Just like okay, plug it in, see what this work, try different money management, try a different strategy. At the time when you lost, you kind of in the state where does my strategy work? Let's try this other strategy, and then you're bouncing back from strategy. Then you're like, no, that's not how it should be, right? I mean, if you stick into one strategy, and if you're a trader, you don't jump strategy back to back just
Yeah.
because it losing streak. And maybe you change to a strategy, and then all of a sudden that old strategy has a winning streak, and then you're like, yeah, yeah. So,
And when did you find your aha moment? What was your key moment in trading?
um, just I think it's when um, it's when you actually understand, take a look at the markets. I think when you look at the graph enough, and you kind of understand. Wait, kind of just lay out and be able to tell the trends, and then now I figured that moving average worked really well. It just depends how well you use them or what kind of strategy you apply them to. And sometimes you can sometimes maybe for me it's harder to take high low because a lot of time candle shows wicks and body size, right? So unless you look at the higher day, like daily time frame, that's when it tells you like, okay, this is what it is, and then you break it down near to narrow time frame. But with moving average, you can tell that quite easily, right? You can tell the direction based on trends, and obviously it doesn't work with all pairs, but you don't want to trade all pairs. You want to just focus one or two main pairs and during those sessions and what really works for your strategy. So
All right. And I think the main problem with every single trader who starts either learning or starts trading is the risk management, obviously. I myself had lost a lot of money because of not following a good risk management system. So, how did you adjust your risk management to become profitable?
so I risk really small. If no more than 10%.
Yeah.
Actually, if I were to trade it for a prop firm, and kind of have to understand your system, right? If you have, let's say, 100 trade per year, you divide by 12, you probably make 9 trade per month. So
Hmm.
if you were to trade that strategy on a 30 days evaluation, well, you need to increase the percentage risk because you're not going to meet that percentage rate with that minimal amount of trades. So you kind of have to, okay, well, if you lose, that's fine. But you have to risk the right amount. Because I mean, it's good that I know that there's some traders that risk really small, but just never pass it. Like they just never
Hmm.
pass it. But they always get that retake, right? I'm like, it's it's okay if you fail because there will be time where you actually pass it. But
Yeah.
it's not okay where you're just in the middle and you're not going up, nor you're not going down. You have to go up. Somewhere you got to find that peak, right? So so yeah, so if I would so my trade, let's say I trade about 20 trades per month. So if I were to do an evaluation that I would risk about um try to target 5% per week and then 20 trade divided by 4, you got 5 trades, right? So either 1% if you were doing evaluation challenges, or if you got the funding account, you have to really understand the prop firm drawdown limits. Let's
Yeah.
say, for especially for Forex prop firm, what I really like is they have the absolute drawdown, right? So it's just five
Yes.
percent of target of that initial balance. So let's say if you make 5%, now you have 10% of risk, right? So what I do is, well, you don't worry about the short game because the scaling plan is awesome.
Yeah.
You want to get the scaling plan first. So I just try to target small and then try to get up there, right? And then once you get up there, it's easy. Now, if you're looking at your expense, if you were to trade this as a full-time trader, how much do you want? How much do you need,
Yes.
right? And so I risk really small, unless it's a challenge or prop firm. I will look into my trading plan and my trading statistic, how much I trade per month, and then increase the percentage of risk based on that to pass the prop firm. So
All right. All right. So, understanding the risk management is something very important besides psychological stuff when it comes to trading. And you're literally right that when doing the challenge, we have only 30 or 35 days to pass the phase one. So we have to adjust our risk management according to the evaluation, according to the parameters of the evaluation. So
correct.
risking 1% per trade makes sense because I used to do the same thing. But when I am on funded account, I have around 500K funding account right now. And when
Mhm.
I'm trading a funded account, then I am never definitely going above 0.5%. So
Right.
mostly I am risking between 0.3% or 0.4%. That's my risk per trade. And I'm only taking 2 or 3 trades per week. So definitely understanding how the risk management should be adjusted according to the parameters of the evaluation and according to the parameters of the funded account, that definitely makes sense. If you can understand that, if you can adjust accordingly, then there is no way that you will not lose, you will not pass the evaluation and you will not become a funded trader. There is no way. So
Yep.
definitely agree with you on that.
Mhm.
So what is your mental psychological strength and how did you develop it?
So, um, if I look a lot, if I look in the screen a lot, right? Sometimes I get tempered. I get, man, why the trade group does this way, and then I seek other indicators or seek other things like that. And, that kind of just, that's not what I want to do, right? So what I did was I would create the strategy, and then I'm a programmer, so I will program my strategy, right?
All right.
And then text it, be robust, make sure that it works. Today's market, I mean, 10 years, people say 2011, that's a long time ago, 2001, market has changed, and you want to be current.
Yeah.
So, so what I do is, I create a robotic EA so that runs my trades for me. So that will stop me from looking at the screen, and that'll stop me from telling myself like, you know what, I gotta open my laptop. No, just let the trade rise itself. Sometimes you're gonna have a losing. Just being able to accept that losses can occur, and it won't. And if you understand your system, let's say you have consecutive loss 5 or 6 times, okay, right. So if you lose one, that's fine. You lose four, that's fine. You lose five, that's fine. Okay. And then if you understand your max drawdown based on your system, if it never back and never go to max drawdown, you'll be all right. Your system still works. But if it does, then you may want to step back and take a look at what's going on, right? Because when you back test, you want to back test on a situation where the market's not trending, it's ranging, and you just losing. How does your system do during that period? So by understanding your trading strategy and being able to understand what your statistically what your strategy gives you, then that kind of give you an idea to sit back and just relax. And if you have a robot that does that for you, it's even better. You don't have to sit and watch the screen. I mean, for me, I have a kid, right? I have two kids, and I barely have time to look at the screen. My wife, I'm always helping them, so I'm always away doing all this stuff. And especially with work, I work 8 hours, so maybe 7 to 4, and then
Hmm.
you come back and you want to take care of the kids. So New York sessions are really gone already during that time, right? So you want to be able to, hey, if you want to be in that session, you have to be able to be time for that session. But if you can't make time, you have to do something about it, right? You have to be able to program or do something, or even look at the screen once an hour or something. So, yeah, just being able to do something robotic, or just for me though, for now, not all these, it works for me. Just be able to create an expert advisor to run my trades for me. So that helped me a lot.
All right. And is there any daily routine that you are following to to according to your trading, according to your how you want to trade? Is there any daily routine that you do?
Uh, so on the weekends, obviously it's off, mortgage is off. Then Sunday I will open up, but have it run on BPS. That would be the only time I actually set a profit targets. Sometime and that's only initiated for during challenges. Other than that, I let my strategy does itself because it doesn't trade as often. But when it does trade, it trade during the sessions that I wanted to trade. So even if it's Asian session, it doesn't trade. I understand that, and that's what it needs to do. And then if it trades every time, then based on some strategy. I mean, sometimes some strategy where it trades too often, it may not be a good thing. If it trades too less, it's not getting enough trades. So that during that time, yeah. So I just let it run during the week, and then come back and check out how it does on Friday, and then if it look good, look good. If it doesn't, we'll bounce back next week or something, right? So.
All right. All right, got you. So, let's recap the strategy that you used to pass Forex Prof firm evaluation.
Mhm.
What was it? The strategy, can you please recap it in a very short sentences?
Yeah, so the strategy I use a mean reversion quantitative strategy and moving average pullback. Um, so obviously, the key to those strategy is you may not get a lot of trade, but
Hmm.
when you do, you want to make sure that your money management is in place. So to pass a prop firm, you got to have a really good risk money management. So what I do is I have asymmetric compounding money management. So you risk 1%, you make 2%, and then your next percent risk is 3%. And then by that way, so two trades, you pass the challenge. You don't have to apply that, but I would strongly suggest based on your backtesting result. Based on my statistic, my strategy is by having asymmetric compounding, I may not have a lot of win rate, but my grout, my GOI is it's up there. So it gets there. So it's all about just understand. It's not about how much you win. It's actually when you win, it really matters and it really double your triple, quadruple or double your account. So
All right, and what do you think that how is trading for forexprofirm.com or trading for any prop firm is different than trading by just yourself, by just trading your own account? How it is different?
So by training with a especially like I say forex prop firm, right? For you guys, like when you don't have the capital, you pay $100 to pass a challenge, you trade $25,000. That's a huge lump sum, and not only that, you guys have an awesome drawdown rule,
Yeah,
and that's like an absolute drawdown. Not a lot of prop firm does offer. I don't, not to speak, but I do say that with 12% challenge, that's really good. So you don't have a daily drawdown. So you can trade as much as you want as long as you don't exceed that overall drawdown limits, which
yeah.
is really amazing. And and I think the biggest thing, not just that, but your scaling plan. So a lot of platform has, you gotta be profitable for 2 months or something, or make 10%. Not even that. They only double your accounts 25% or maybe
Yes,
30%. Well, here, if you make 10, let's say the first trade or two trade, you already make 10%. You're eligible for, you know, uh, double up your account,
yes,
25, and then you make another 10%. You could almost double your account or entirely make up to 500,000 or 1 million in a month time frame. That's depend on your strategy and depend how well you do, right? But that's really fast. So a lot of problem doesn't have that, and that's what really amazed me. And not just that, but the fees for these challenges it's really there. So you pay less to trade 25,000, you pay 250 to trade 50,000, or something like that. So that's something that really triggers my mind when I was registering try for your prop firm. So
all right, all right. That was good to know. Your story, how you became profitable, how you completed Forex Pro from evaluation, how many challenges you lost before becoming a funded trader. It was a very great interview. So let's wrap this interview and give some suggestions to anyone who is just starting either with us here at forexprofirm.com or starting trading in general. What are your recommendations to him or her?
yeah, so I said trading is really tough. I'm not gonna give all the goods. Okay, I'm gonna give you a lot of bad. Trading is tough, but if you're into it, the reward is really there. Like
Yeah.
it's very astounding. But I would say for people who just start trading, try demo account or try live account. Put 100, $200, and treat that as your money. That I really need this money.
Hmm.
Okay, so you build that emotional impact to it, and then when you lose that money, and then you kind of give it a think of like, should I still continue to trade or this, or is there people that actually does make money? So it give you a roadblock, but that's where you need to make that move if trading is for you, or if you're just gonna give up. You gotta hit hard before you actually start climbing. That's what I would say. And then when you do climb, don't stop and just keep climbing. Just keep, or people there will be people in your back being like, hey, pull you back, but you know what? You gotta look in the future. Is that what you want them to be? People who pull you back, they just don't really want to see you succeed. But when you are succeed, you can come back and look at them and hey, share your journey. So I would say start trading right away. Get that emotional compact in, emotional psychology in, feel the loss, before you actually start feeling the game, because that's how trading is. We're gonna go through a losing streak, just like
Yeah,
our you're gonna go through a losing streak, and but if you sustain it and you're able to live long enough, the reward is gonna be high, and you're gonna be able to experience that. So I said, don't jump in the platform yet, but I would say start, live testing, live, trading. Don't wait, because as you get older, I mean, even though trading is there, but don't wait, because you're gonna get older, and and your mobility is not gonna be there as much as you were before. So being able to expose to other strategy, try other strategy, you'll be able to kind of see that. Like, for me, if I start 10 years from now, 40 years old, 40, 42, I don't think I'll be able to get all the information I need at right now, where I was right now,
yeah,
compared to there. So I say start early, get into it. Don't be afraid. There's going to be people who are going to hold you back. There's going to be people who tell you, hey, don't do it. But you got to, if people can be easy to convince you, then you're easy to convince, by. And I think, if you are, then trading might not be it for you. Not saying that aloud, but I'm just saying that, you got to go through tough time. And they will be tough. There'll be losing streak, but the reward is high. So
definitely. I agree with you on that. So thank you so much for giving us
thank
the
you.
time, for giving us the interview, and talking about your story, sharing how you became profitable, describing your trading plan. So I want to thank you. And guys, if you are looking to become our funded trader, make sure that you check out the links. I have added all the website links that you need to know in the description, and you can take one step evaluation, two-step evaluation, or even instant funding account if you want to. And if you guys have any question, let us know in the comment section. We will get back to you as soon as we can. So thank you for watching. Bye for now. Peace out.